Yes, my camera fucking fell down. Okay, cool, nice.
Gang.
This is why we're the salt grinder, guys. We never know how to start streams. Clearly.
Oh yeah, everybody quiet. I have to do another improvised introduction. I'm gonna fuck up.
You can show off your T-shirt.
He really
yeah,
doesn't
that's the
have
plan.
to.
He has
No,
to.
I have to. There we go. There we go. The
Oi.
Italian terrorist T-shirt. All the glory. All the memes. Yes. I am not pleased at all.
That's right, folks. We have
egotistical.
official merch now for the salt grinder. Coming soon, I think. Actually, I hope not. Hopefully the designs will be better than what that is.
This is the beta.
What do you mean?
It will be for a small fee of $999.95 plus shipping and handling. You can get this beautiful. Stand up again.
This should be enough.
Yes, you can get that amazing. Is that an Uzi?
Yes, it is.
No,
Does
it's
it
the
come
most
with the
ambitious
guy?
fucking club.
Jeez, man, look at this. Just the Uzi actually makes it worthwhile.
So, ladies, gentlemen, welcome to the Salt Grinder.
You didn't mention my gender. Excuse me.
Oh no!
What happened to all the ones in between? Come on, Trillian. That's how we covered the entire scope.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Don't forget
sorry.
two
All
spirited.
genders.
Someone's lost him, my nigga. Someone lost it.
Okay, let's stop this scene. Fuck it. Let's just throw this away. Let's start talking. Welcome. So, in today's segment in history and world news.
Did you guys
we
all
have
watch
discovered-
Endgame? Let's just get that out of the way. If you haven't watched Endgame, go fuck yourself and get out of here because you are about to be spoiled up the ass.
Fuck you.
Oh yeah,
You
pretty
are
much.
also not worthy if you have not bought tickets to watch that amazing piece of American cinema.
I ain't watching that shit. I ain't watching 20 movies just for one.
Yes, it's not that worth it.
To be fair, there's only one movie that you have to watch really to understand everything. That's Captain Marvel.
You filth.
Fuck you, man.
The most important
Everything-
one in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
No.
It is. Dude,
No.
the whole Endgame agenda is basically Captain Marvel movie all over again.
Yeah, only 5 seconds of the fucking movie.
Oh yeah, they did not give her a lot of screen time. They gave her enough screen time to get that edgy haircut, though. Yeah, but otherwise, like,
Oh yeah.
Fucking shows off her fucking haircut, sipping Guinness behind the background, fucking spilling grease on some penises because she's a fucking feminist.
Dude, she got roasted by a raccoon.
Dude.
is that a personal attack or something?
Hmm?
Did you just assume
fuck?
Brie Larson's gender? Or anyone's gender for that matter?
Brie Larson's gender is a man spelled with a fucking Y because E is spelled in woman.
I see what you did there.
Don't you hate on Brie Larson's haircut? I like me some short hair, all right? But the problem with Brie Larson's short hair, she says, I like me short hair, you know?
Oh, like she has to acknowledge it, yeah.
Yeah.
Just make sure the cousin doesn't hear this.
She's asleep.
Okay.
And she's never, ever gonna watch a 2-hour stream, so I'm foolproof.
I guess.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So,
So I guess we're starting on Endgame then.
yeah,
Uh,
let's get it out of the way before we get to the interesting stuff.
Yeah,
Just
let's
cover the
just-
cultural phenomenon. Let's get out of here. Okay, besides the feminist scene, I don't really have many complaints. They did what they're supposed to. Every setup they did in the 20 movies was resolved. They took out Iron Man. They took out Captain America. Finally, now we can move on to the next era, knowing
What
that.
about Black
in my
Widow? What about Black Widow?
Black
Dude.
Widow. She was
Black
cute.
Widow.
I have to be honest.
Where's
That
the
was
fanfic?
the
Black Widow.
storyline I did not predict.
Everybody
Well,
cried.
what else were they gonna do? No. What else were they gonna do with Black Widow? Think about it. She has a gun. She was always out of place. She was good in Captain the Winter Soldier. She was good in the first Avengers because she brought people in. She was like an agent of Shield. But in Age of Ultron, you see her there, and it's like, why are you here? They gave her like, she made her like the Hulk's prison warden or something, right? For a while, because there's nothing you can do with her. So now she's dead. Great.
Am I the only one that thinks
Yeah.
it's weird she's getting a standalone movie after Endgame?
Oh, it's a prequel. They're going to
Wow.
cover Budapest because they keep referencing Budapest and nobody knows what happened there. So I assume they have to cover Budapest at some point.
I get that, but because they're making that prequel, do they intend to make her a part of the next phase of Marvel?
They can set
Just
up
as
stuff for the next.
prequels?
Yeah, like the way.
They're
Like,
gonna
I
bring
don't see
some
any-
random ass fucking character just to like try to avenge her or some like shit. Oh.
Well,
Like
the
they'll
next
bring
Avengers,
her in.
dude, the next Avengers just gonna be black people and females.
Bro, who?
That's-
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Who is the
That's-
new Avengers?
That's the fucking
Where are
universe.
my trans representation?
No.
Do you know that
Next,
there was
Yeah.
a about Endgame there, and I was waiting for this. There were articles that were written of people asking where all, because Marvel had Endgame had gay representation, right? The first openly gay character, supposedly. Immediately,
Yeah.
people hopped on that bandwagon. Where's the trans representation? Where is the dyslexic
Yeah,
midget
right.
representation? I'm like, it never ends. If you give them if you give them some string, they'll keep running with it. It never ends.
For context, for the confused, that was the scene where Captain America was like in a support group, and they were like he was trying to help people move on. And there was one guy who was actually one of the Russos, one of the directors, who was playing a gay character talking about his mate, I guess. I didn't pay too much attention. I found that out later. But what feminist, like all female shot with all the female like Avengers attacking, Captain Marvel outdoing Captain America against Thanos, Black Panther's army just coming to save the day, openly gay characters discussing their relationship, all of that's there. What does the internet say? There hasn't been enough representation for diversity, and that's a problem. What more do you want without ruining the movie? What more do you want?
But here is
Okay.
the problem.
I
They
want to
made it-
interrupt here. I want to interrupt. What do you mean by Captain Marvel outdoing Captain America? She should. She's fucking Captain Marvel. What is
No, let me
Captain
explain what
America?
Captain
He
Marvel
is
is such
filth.
a below tier
Captain
character. She wasn't
America
even
is just
originally a Marvel
A
character.
soldier on steroids. He's nothing without the hammer.
No, let me
He's
explain.
nothing. Over a glorified character.
Let me explain. In Infinity War, there was a scene where Thanos tries to attack, then Captain America holds his hand and tries to push it. And then struggles to, and then Thanos is all confused. Like, how are you still trying to fight me? You're clearly weaker. And he pushes him, but Captain America pushes back, all screaming, and then Thanos smacks him away. And then continues on the shot. This was the exact same shot used in Captain Marvel. Thanos tries to push. Captain Marvel holds her ground. He tries to push more. Captain Marvel holds. He smacks her. She doesn't budge. And that was basically their silent way of showing that, oh, look, Captain Marvel is going to carry over Captain America's torch, which I don't agree with, but it's there. They did it.
How could they go worse than Captain America?
Here's my problem with the representation element, though. It's fine if you have representation, just don't bring it up, if that makes sense. Because then that allows people to hop on it and then use it as an excuse to push an agenda further. So if the Russo brothers would not have come out and said, oh, look, we have an openly gay character, the first ever in a Marvel movie, no one would have fucking noticed. Absolutely no one would have cared. No one would have brought it up. And it just would have been an Easter egg for people to find if they choose.
No one wants an Easter egg. When these companies go for the diversity thing, they want to use it as a public reputation sort of move. They want to rub it in people's faces. Look at how progressive we are. No one just leaves a gay Easter egg.
But that's my point. They should, because it should just be a part of the experience.
People will
they
still
don't
not be
understand that
satisfied.
part yet.
The internet
of course not.
will not be satisfied. It's just
it's that J.K. Rowling writing in gay characters into her story that was written in the 90s where being gay wasn't cool, right? And she was like, but guys, I swear my story was diverse. I swear, please.
Harry Potter's dying.
Because
wait, so I don't get that. Is Harry Potter gay or what?
I never said that Hermione was white.
Yeah,
like, I never said that.
Hermione's black. Dumbledore's gay.
Wait, what?
There was a Jewish student in
Hermione.
Hogwarts.
That's the chick, right?
Yes, the chick. Yeah.
She's black. Since when?
Apparently.
Yes, Emma Watson. Look, Emma Watson is basically Zendaya with a lot of makeup in the movie. So that's a surprise.
So Emma Watson is secretly a black chick, but at least we were on the right side of history, folks.
Yeah, no, she's 2% black. She did the DNA test.
Just like that South Park scene. Like, I just found out that I'm 2% black. Hey, Brandon.
Originally,
what's up,
Voldemort cursed her into being white. That's what happened.
What?
Voldemort cursed her into being white in the movie. This is not the book.
Is this canon or you're making shit up?
No, this is totally not fan fiction whatsoever.
Definitely, probably canon. Maybe. Just give it a couple of weeks. Follow J.K. Rowling.
Guys, here's the thing. J.K. Rowling is so bad, she made a sequel to Harry Potter called The Cursed Child, and the fan base collectively decided that it wasn't canon.
Can you do that?
It was a play, though.
They did.
Oh my god, they have that much power?
It's reached the point and that people don't care about J.K. Rowling anymore. They just care about the Potter books. It's like, okay, we're just going to take the Potter books. We like it. Anything that J.K. Rowling produces after, if we like it, we'll assimilate it. If we don't like it, then fuck you. We're rejecting it.
Well, exactly. You never like the creator. You like the art that they create. Nobody wants to meet George R.R. Martin. They want to see how the fucking story ends.
Oh, let's not start on Game of Thrones, man. Let us not start on Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
The whole
we might have to.
world just had their boner chopped off in one day.
I
don't watch Game of Thrones, but I've heard things.
You just had to go on Twitter once to see the outrage. The actually good directed outrage this time.
I still think D&D are not to blame. Everything is Martin's fault. D&D were winging it. They had to do something. They have a limited budget for one episode out of 7 that they have to make. And not only that, they have to actually live up to the hype they've been building for 7 seasons without the book to help them. Of course they're gonna fuck up Battle of Winterfell. Of course they're gonna.
How do you flop that bad, though?
How is the book not helping them?
Oh, here's the thing. It wasn't that bad. It was only bad because people were watching Game of Thrones. If that scene was in any other show, people would have fangirled. But because it's Game of Thrones and the standard is too high, that's why people think it flopped. It was good cinematography. The lighting could have been better, admittedly, but otherwise, it was a nice cinematic shot. I enjoyed it. It was a movie. It was about an hour and an hour and 15 minutes of action in one episode. All of it being action.
No,
the
man,
most
it was
part-
tactics. Did you see Arya moving, slipping through those bookshelves? Oh, oh. Did you see those moves?
I mean, yeah, but that's not important. What's important is people are not giving Martin enough flack and attacking D&D instead. D&D being the producers. Those guys, that's their first TV show. For God's sake.
I know.
What did you expect?
I imagined that they would screw it up somehow, which is why I refuse. I've hopped on a judgment, clearly, but I refuse to believe that is the end of the White Walkers. I refuse. And in a recent interview, when asked, they refused to answer if that was the end of the White Walkers, because it wouldn't have mattered now if they asked them if he would have said, "Oh yes, it's over for them." Now we have to deal with the real threat, a pregnant alcoholic and her pirate boyfriend.
No, it's again. I enjoyed the third. Like again, okay. People stop thinking Game of Thrones is now the same Thrones you watched in season 4. Right now, it's a fan fiction specifically made for fan service, and that's what you should treat it for. You'll enjoy it then, as I've enjoyed it.
I mean, her ass was really flat, so 7 out of 10.
What?
He's talking about Arya Stark.
I think you're thinking of the last episode, right?
Finally, someone speaks the truth, huh? Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones.
Yeah. The Battle of Winterfell, whatever. But did you see Arya Stark in episode 2?
Now that one, that's where the talk is.
Dude,
That was where the
Everybody-
talk was at for about.
yeah, that was
alright.
disappointing.
All right,
That was
people.
disappointing.
All right, people. All right, people. I'm disgusted with this topic. Let's get back to track. I want to address a comment here.
Clear out. Cheer up. She's not 10 anymore. Okay, it's legal now.
Is 10
It's the purpose.
Her double. Wait. Her double is not under 18.
I retract
Don't
my
math.
statement.
Math.
She had a double for that scene. I thought they asked her if she everyone goes nude in Game of Thrones. What's the matter with that? If anything, it helps propel your career.
I mean, a lot of people
Propel,
claim
man.
that it was a fucking double, but
You
I'm
have a
not
lot
sure.
of range if you're willing to go nude in a scene. That's all I'm saying.
Wait, so
It
the
shows the
actual Arya
directors
could
you
have
have no
Stop it.
boundaries.
ass, though.
Stop it. This is disgusting. Let's move on.
No,
Let's
it's
move
So look
on.
at
it
this
is- it's not-
prude.
Please.
Okay,
Endgame.
what do you want to talk about? Let's talk
Let's-
about Endgame.
Let's talk
Let's
about
get
the
Endgame.
comment.
Let's
You
get
wanted
back
to
to
address the
Endgame.
comment.
Yeah.
Please. All right. Let me address a comment so we can. All right. One guy says, let me guess, Endgame was trash to you guys. Endgame was not bad. The movie was fine. The movie was fine. It was good to watch. The problem is the SJW agendas. There were like too many of them. Like at the end of the movie, you will see a black Captain America. Then you will see a black Queen of Asgard. Like, what the fuck, man?
And a female.
Yeah, like what? Then the scene of all the female characters like doing like this. We're gonna fight Thanos like this. Like, come on.
Yeah, all of them flexing. Yeah.
Yeah, can you imagine the
who's gonna-
memes if the guys did that?
Oh, that's
yeah.
that's the funny part, isn't it?
Dude,
If guys do it, everybody's like, "What?"
The thing I don't understand,
actually-
like everybody was fighting there. Men, women, furries, transgenders, slaves, everybody was fighting. But has to be a freaking scene where it's women doing this. We're coming to you. Like, why? Why?
We can achieve. We
We
can create.
everything.
We have magic. Ah.
You know, they could have done it more subtly and 100 times better. Just have the females have more shots of them beating
Look,
up people.
If
Yeah,
that shot Look, if that shot was made by males, or if that shot was mainly male heroes, I would make a meme about this, dubbed by Ben Shapiro. All of them screaming, "And the boy named Scout or Boy Scout."
Oh fuck you.
Dude. In the comment, the same guy says it's a comic movie. You think it ain't gonna be cringe? It's not about the cringe, man. It's not. It's really not about the cringe. It's them pushing the SJW and the feminist agenda in the movie, which they did
Again-
not do like 5 years ago.
No,
Like
here's
they
the thing.
they just want to.
You want to talk
Like a-
cringe that is natural?
Mhm.
Thor showing up fat with a beer belly.
That was
playing
funny.
Fortnite against Noob Master 69. That's
Yep.
okay. That's cringe. It's good cringe, but it's cringe.
It's good
yes.
cringe.
When what's his name? When Rocket, they assemble the Infinity Gauntlet, and everybody stands and he goes boom, and everybody explodes laughing. That's good. But you show up like a bunch of females, all of them together, like JoJo, all of them dabbing or something.
Yep.
Like, what do you want? What do you want? Why are you showing me this? Scarlet Witch literally came in, pinned Thanos, almost beat him. Right? That was okay. You can see that. I would see that, and I'm like, yeah, women are cool. But everybody's like, yeah, we're good. We're awesome. We have
We're gonna
breasts.
take
Look
your
at our
Thanos.
costume design. Look at my one-liner. Like, why? Or eyeliner, sorry.
My one
Pointless.
I don't
yeah,
want to
dude,
get
I'm
off the topic.
The Scarlet Witch really did work on that one liner. That was disturbing the whole movie.
What was
Uh,
that sound?
Like,
All right.
Someone's girl just ripped apart. I'm sorry, I have to mention that. Okay.
So this is my problem with Endgame. Like, okay, the movie was good, but pushing too much SJW made it disgusting. Like, just why?
Oh,
Just why?
it'll only get worse from here. I hope not, but it'll only get worse from here. And
Just get used to
like
it.
they have an Asian superhero coming, Shang Lai, whatever, the master of kung fu.
Finally, there it is.
What?
Like,
Is he
we need-
trans
we
though?
We needed kung fu, and we need them kung fu.
Yeah, nothing says progressive like an Asian with kung fu powers. That's the best they could do.
Dude, they
yeah,
had
I bring,
dude, they had white man with kung fu, and then they shut down the whole TV series. So yeah,
Here's where they keep.
you need an Asian with kung fu.
This is where they keep shooting themselves in the foot. They claim that if you put an Asian in like a martial arts movie, it's seen as racist. But if you put any other race, particularly white men, in a martial arts movie, it's seen as cultural appropriation. They keep going in this circle that never ends of stupidity.
Dude, Danny Rand was the embodiment of cultural appropriation. Dude, Danny Rand is a walking racism. Walking cringe racism.
Yeah.
Danny Rand. The Iron Fist. The protector of Kunlun. The CEO of Rand Industry. Nice to meet you, by the way. Like, what? They have a martial art. I don't know.
no, here's the thing. And I will always repeat this. And I'm of course responding to their comment. What's his name? Turium. We're saying we're hyper focusing on this HJW thing. Again, I repeat, the movie was great. Cinematography on point. They tied in all the things together of the previous 20 movies. It was, as some people said, a love letter to the MCU. It's all great. The only thing I can point to and say, if that wasn't there, the movie would be like awesome or perfect. As far as I'm concerned, as perfect as the movie can get, mainly because movies are hard to get perfect, mainly because of the time constraints, budget, reshots, and all that. if that SJW scenes weren't forced in, or it's just that one shot to be more specific, where all of them are together. Because keep in mind, it felt out of place, it felt forced, and it felt like they had to put it in there. Let's put all the women together to show people women have power. What's more humiliating than having a movie like show that you have power? It's like saying, by the way, you don't have power in real life, but we're gonna give you this, right? It's like Black Panther, a movie where black people get to be the advanced society this time that helps out the white man. It's like, is there more of an insult to black people than making a fiction where they're better?
Yes. It's called doing that and then telling them that they have that problem, which is exactly what every person that liked Black Panther, I'm consumed, every person that liked Black Panther way more than a superhero movie, I'm convinced is a racist. Because look at, and it's all these like elite white progressives that are clapping. Finally, a movie with representation. I'm like, what are you doing? You're the real racists. You're assuming that they can't ever be in a position of power, so you physically had to give it to them.
Dude, I don't think
This
we need
movie
feminist
just created
agenda.
slavery. We have fixed slavery.
Dude, I don't think Marvel Cinematics needed a feminist agenda. They already have a kick-ass female characters like Black Widow, Scarlet Witch, Captain Marvel, and Pip and the Wasp. Like those are kick-ass female characters. Just show us a scene where they're kicking some ass and
We're good, right?
problem solved.
And
With short
don't
hair,
mention
of
it.
course. Yeah.
Don't mention the fact that they did kick somebody's ass. Just have them kick somebody's ass.
Yes, exactement. It's same thing. Like, why they have to be all together doing this?
no. Here's the thing. Isn't it enough that Scarlet Witch alone, Scarlet Witch alone, single-handedly moved the entirety of Phase 2 and half of Phase 3. She was the only person that made anything. She was the one who gave Tony Stark the inspiration to make Ultron, Age of Ultron. She's the one who started the Civil War fiasco. Her affair or her relationship with the Vision is what put Vision out of commission in Infinity War, and therefore weakened him enough to remove that OP-ness that is the Vision from the Avengers team, making it more of a threat or way easier for Thanos to do it. Like Scarlet Witch on her own carried the entirety of the plot progression that is the MCU for like 6 years. Like, what more do you want?
Yeah, but that's not what the critics can grovel over. The critics are looking for every excuse to write about how somebody gets their ass kicked. Because characters and their importance aren't really that important in superhero movies. That's not what people go to watch them for. So it almost makes sense that when you go to watch a movie and you want to see Captain Marvel, you want to see Captain Marvel beat some people up. They're not looking for, is Captain Marvel going to carry the plot? The intellectuals might.
No, here's the thing. Again, I'm gonna respond to Turium, who's been very, 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 very engaging.
Look at this dweeb. Why is he taking this so personally?
It's
good.
I'll respond to him because he's making decent points. Okay, black people want and somebody to look up to. I agree with that. That's fine. They want somebody of their skin of color. Well, guess what? We already have Luke Cage. We have movies that do that. Why did Black Panther become the
We have a brother,
cultural
Malcolm
phenomenon?
X. Malcolm X is here. What more
We
do
have
you
a
need?
lot of black. We have a lot of
more do
black
you need?
representation already.
Dude,
We have
like-
a lot of female representation. Like, why is it part of the agenda? Is the thing. Why are you pushing this? Not as the movie makers, not as Marvel, as regular people. Black Panther is the first movie fully made by black people. Obama is the first black president. This isn't needed. you can just look up to them. It's fine.
You know, it's
And
it's
if I
funny
want
that
to
you,
look up to,
it's
Yeah.
funny that you mentioned that because there actually is an argument right now where people claim that Black people only have two sources to outlook when it comes to inspirations, and they're either like athletes or rappers or musicians, and people wanted more human examples. Why the fuck are you looking at Black Panther as that human example that you can look up to? It's a good superhero movie. That's it.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. That's
It's
technically
just
incorrect.
athletes and rappers are the
not-
one that is most apparent in their culture. That's the
Mhm.
thing they are most familiar with. There are many like black scientists. Think what's his name?
The
Neil
Frederick,
deGrasse Tyson, the
yeah,
I
Neil
lean in
deGrasse Tyson,
guy,
yeah.
when I
of
talk
course,
guy.
of course.
You got
Yeah.
those to look up to.
yeah, the black people just have a lot of people, like Martin Luther King, and for the our side of the world or the Muslim community that we have Malcolm X, and there are a lot of names, dude. We have a lot of good black people inspiration, good role models to look up to.
Don't forget Senate Kunlun.
Yeah, the Senate, of course, Senate Kunlun, one of the best.
Artist, photographer, and grudge holder.
When
Only
grudge
the
holder.
best
Oh, yes.
of them.
Senate the Kunlun.
Wait, who is this?
Big legend, big legend.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry. You wouldn't know
No.
him yet. He's
Yeah.
gonna get on stream.
Oh,
at some
He
point.
met him
Regardless,
once. He met him once.
spicy one.
a lot of that's one thing that actually annoys me. A lot of people say like there aren't strong female characters. Like that's a big thing, right? Everybody says it, even though it's false. Everybody's like there isn't enough strong female characters with good character arcs in gaming or in culture in general. And all I'm doing here is sitting around. I'm like, if you look at history, some of the best queens and the best empresses were females. Nobody talks about that. You know why?
Did you just say some of the
I'm pretty
best
sure
queens
all. Yeah,
in
exactly.
history are okay?
Yeah, like Catherine the Great. What's her name? Victoria, Elizabeth the Immortal. You know,
All three of them are
Hey,
the
guys.
most
Dude,
likely queens to not be female.
Theodora was a strong. Even though
yeah,
she was a
Theodora.
prostitute before, then she had a character development and she became the queen. She married Justinian. And-
Empress
and-
Wu was also really powerful, even though she was a prostitute before. Then she had a character
Yeah, yeah.
development and became the empress.
yeah,
No,
and-
mean,
none of that character development bullshit, please, guys.
Look
Dude,
at Oprah too, dude. Look at Oprah too. She got raped by her cousin. She became rich in like what, 20 years?
Yo, did she really?
I don't know.
Gee, I have no idea about Oprah.
Not
But-
on the Oprah law.
Yeah.
The point
yeah, it's-
stands that there are a lot of strong, independent women
Eh,
out there to be your role model. All right. So no need to
I
put
just
them
think
all.
that I just think that if people are looking for superheroes for the bulk of their inspirations, there's already something wrong with you. Like there's plenty of role models for everyone, but look in the right places. Superheroes are a fantasy and they're meant to be received as such, and you can take them as models, but if they're the go-to, I don't know.
Yeah.
Here's the
true.
thing. Here's
Bless
the
you.
thing.
God bless
if
you.
you're gonna write a story, you have to write with what you know, right? So if you're let's say a black person and you've experienced racism, you're the best guy who will probably write about racism. A white guy trying to write racism would have to experience some prejudice himself. You know, go somewhere where he'd be, discriminated against, and maybe he can relate, and then he can write something. Again, you write with what you're familiar with. So what's the problem here? If somebody, let's say, who is familiar with a certain culture, let's say United States, that's not really a culture. Let's look for something more cultural. The UK, right? With a very defined culture. You want to write in the British way about British people, but then somebody, with an executive power who can just veto you goes and says, no, add more diversity, right? and now you're being put in a place you don't know how to engage with because you don't have the the means. Like you don't have the experience. You're not familiar with it. So it happens a lot of times whenever you try to force in SJW propaganda, it really lowers the quality of the content. And a lot of people are doing it, and it's showing. It's reducing the quality. It can be done right, only with people who are familiar with it, though. So let's not make it like necessary. Oh, every game and every TV show and every cinematic universe needs a strong female character, a black person, an Asian character, a Muslim character, of course, dealing with the.
The CIA shut them down. Speaking the truth about the Islamic community.
Damn it, Trillian, you're starting to make some sense.
As soon as he mentioned fucking Muslim, holy shit.
Yeah, it's Google agenda right there, dude.
You know
when
what's
you
hilarious
said,
about what he just said?
I mean,
though?
he is wearing a shirt that says terrorist on it.
dude,
He
dude,
basically
No, no.
listed the entire
said
Star Wars
Muslim, you're like-
checklist. Did you notice that he listed the entire Star Wars checklist? A black character, a strong Asian character, a strong female lead. It's like they hopped on that bandwagon first, and they hopped on with everything. There was no holding back, and well, let's see how that turned out.
Disaster.
You
Yeah, it's a
just
disaster.
look, have the characters you want to make. Just stop telling people they should care about them because of it. Just show people why they should care.
oh,
Like
God
the
bless
character in Star Wars,
Power
the Asian woman, she wasn't that bad. She was only bad because afterwards, when I listened to all the interviews or listened to all the critics, all they were talking about is we get strong female Asian representation. I'm like, just let that subtly sink in. You don't need to bring it up. It's like when people say Ariana Grande is the best female artist right now. Just say she's the best artist right now, or one of the best artists if that's what you think. Don't put the female part in there because then you're attributing the fact that people should be paying attention to that before the talent. And that
Actually,
goes with actors as well.
that actually is interesting because what's his name and fucking chess and chess league, like this as a facts, people don't run at me with a stick. There's a male chess league and a female chess league, and male grandmasters are referred to as grandmasters. Female grandmasters, though, are referred to as female grandmaster. Right?
Why?
However, there are two grandmasters because they compete in their own league, so they have to make the distinction, right? So something happened. There were two female grandmasters so good they compete with the actual males. You know, they're top. They're somewhere at the top. I think the Polgar sisters, right? If I remember correctly. The Polgar sisters were excellent, great chess players. So they graduated like female grandmaster league because they were winning there. They went to the male league and they started beating up males, but they never referred to themselves as female grandmasters. They were always offended by that. They want to be called grandmasters, which people refer to them as, because they play in the grandmaster league, not in the female easier grandmaster league, and that should be attributed to them. And the fact that they knew this, even though they were female, and they're European, of course, like, you know, Eastern Europeans, those tough sons of bitches, right? They don't give a shit. So we're grandmasters. We understand we're females, but the important part is that we're grandmasters, and they enforce that. And I encourage everybody to do that as well, because anytime, you know, it's like she's the best female artist. He's the first. He's the best. He's the first black president. He is the whatever insert culture group there. It cheapens. It doesn't increase. Obama's the first black president. Okay, what did he do? That's not important. Him being the first black president isn't important. If Hillary won the last election, she was the first female election, that wouldn't be as important as what she did in her term. But nobody would care about that. In the history books, she was like, he is the first female president, you know, because it's easy to put in an exam.
I guess.
You know, there's a comment I need to address. Billie Eilish is the best female artist. Fuck you, Pete.
Who's
You
Billie
know
Eilish?
what you're saying right now. Oh my god. That's a bit of an inside joke, but
look. Billie Eilish is good, but she needs to work on some shit. Okay, she's just a new artist. She just needs to work on some shit.
No,
She
he's
needs
messing
better.
with me right now because it's something.
Something.
Oh, why though? Is there a
Alright,
story? Tell me. I need context.
You need context.
Yes.
She looks like a girl I used to date. Trillion knows more of the story, but maybe later.
Oh, you lucky boy. Okay.
And so, yeah,
Was she underage though?
Hey, don't disappoint
Yes.
me.
The age is just
You
a
know what-
number.
You know
I
what's
can't
weird to
say
me?
I have. Yeah, I can say she looks like a crush of mine at one point. I can't say that she is a current crush of mine at the moment.
No, here's the funny part, which is weird to me. So people on the internet, like whenever somebody is like 17 or 16, and they look and everybody's like, I can't wait till she's 18. And all in my head's like, why? Because now you can legally masturbate to her or something? What do you
Legally
mean?
masturbate.
Like,
Yeah,
what
you
do
don't
you
have to feel bad about it or weird.
Isn't it more creepy to actually say, I can't wait till she's 18 than saying, oh, okay, she's a very good looking individual and I find her very attractive?
You're assuming people on the internet are intellectual, rational people when it comes to these sort of things. Dude, horny people on the internet are some of the most rabid dogs you will ever find.
In the next episode of Black Mirror.
Next episode of Catch a Predator, the entire salt Hansen.
All right. What do we have on the list? خلصنا. Okay, that's Endgame. SJW.
Yeah, let's put
What do we
Endgame on
have?
the side.
All right.
Okay,
Let's move on.
so actually, since you're the one who started the transition, I think there's something you want to tell us.
Yes.
That's why he made the transition.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
You're marrying a
Good.
second time.
Dude, my brother is in the chat. He's a spy. So I'm not going to confirm nor deny.
He's not a Western spy though.
All right. So, a couple of days ago, all the politicians in Kuwait brought up like a very old incident, and that incident. All right, so 19 years ago, probably all of you we weren't born. 19 years.
9/11? No. Go on.
No. Hey, let's hear this. Stop setting
I was-
up dramatic tension. Tell me.
19 years ago, Mr. Khalid and his last name, and I'm not making shit up.
Wait, let me say it.
All right, go ahead.
Khalid nigga.
His last name is Nigga. Mr. Nigga. I swear, this is his last name. Mr. Nigga. Mr. Nigga. 9:30 in the morning. He woke up to a car. He pull up his piece and pow, 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 kill a woman. Mr. Nigga killed a woman. All right. Then he drove to the police station. Mr. Nigga surrendered himself. What a good nigga. Oh, what a good nigga.
Okay, it's the video is not on YouTube anymore.
All right. So, Mr. Nigga.
I'm actually interested to hear what
Yeah.
you gotta say,
Yeah.
Aziz, because my friend who was like #Rashidi Clan
Oh, yeah.
kept arguing with us for hours about how the whole
Oh.
thing was justified.
Dude.
So go on, continue the
All
story
right,
for
all
the
right.
viewers.
So, Mr. Nigga, since it's a شو تقول premeditated
Meditated.
yeah, the thing. مع سبق الإصرار والترصد. Premeditated
Just everyone understood.
murder. It's the capital punishment, so he should be executed.
Mhm.
But Mr. Nigga did not get executed. He just faced life in prison. And because that was 19 years ago, there were no social media and shit. And I quote, it's an honor problem. That's why the judge did not issue the capital punishment. All right. Honor honor in Kuwait is very sensitive. So if somebody committed adultery or something and somebody took revenge on that one, it's not justified. It's just you're gonna get a lesser sentence because it's honor. All right. So because of it's an honor issue, he got a lesser sentence. All right, that was not all right. Forward back 19 years later, in the Islamic law, if you face the capital punishment, there you have the family of the deceased can decide between two things: the punishment itself, or instead of the punishment, and instead of you going to prison or getting the capital punishment, they can ask for a sum of money to be compensated. And at that time, the sum of money was 30 million KD, and that's about $100 million. $100 million. But after like 19 years of negotiation, they turned it down into 10 million KDs, which is like 30 million dollars. All right. When the family agreed on the $30 million, in 31 hours, whole Kuwait politicians, they asked for that money. And within 31 hours, $30 million, it's an insane amount of money gathered in 31 hours. Done.
Cash.
And cash. And also there is like $5 million were extra. They bought him the guy a house. He got out of the prison, and they bought him a house and whatnot. All right, that's cool and all, but a lot of people got angry. This guy is a murderer. This guy is a murderer. Why would you pay for him? And then the conspiracy began. Like, why did he murder that woman? That woman. And a lot of people say that woman was, and I don't want to speak ill of the deceased because the story was 19 years ago, but I'm going to just speak the theories. And that woman, she was a pimp for the princes of Kuwait. She brings women to the prince, or princes, all the princes of Kuwait to get pleasured. And she handpicked them and whatnot. And according to people, the sister of Mr. Nigga was one of them.
Not
So
all
Mr.
heroes.
Nigga,
Yeah.
so Mr. Nigga got angry and killed that woman, and Mr. Nigga
Turned
surrendered
himself in.
himself. What a good boy, Mr. Nigga. So, is it justified to kill a woman? Of course not. Killing is not justified. But
I thought that was your question. Let's discuss. Is it justified?
no,
to kill?
it's not
I
justified.
mean,
There is nothing
no, let's go ahead and
as a
discuss.
justified kill. All right, it's an honor thing. I know you're angry, and what that woman did, if it is correct, nobody knows. Was 19 years ago, and nobody knows the actual story. And a lot of people are shaming that woman, and a lot of people from that woman's side are shaming Mr. Nigga sister for it's an not ending circle of just bad theories and everybody shaming everybody for what happened. But it's interesting how fragile is the community when it came to honor, and I don't know. It was weird. So this
Yeah,
was the story of Mr. Nigga.
It's a
What I'm
weird
worried
concept.
about is that they paid $100 million, not 100, $30 million for a dead man who's like in his 60s now.
Um, well, here's the thing. As far as I'm concerned, I wanna explain how the honor thing happens, just to people from the West who maybe are not very familiar with that concept. Um, Here, it's a way bigger scandal to be cheated on, or to cheat, or to have your wife have an affair, or for you to have an affair. And a lot of times, actually, like our police stations, their primary job is to like keep things concealed and hidden, right? I knew a guy who worked as an officer, and he's like, the amount of shit we hide, Kuwait would collapse if we did not start hiding all the things, because um, you know, it's just the concept of honor, and your honor was stained. If a girl has sex before marriage and it gets revealed, if it's not revealed, nobody cares. If there are just rumors, it's okay. Like, she can still do something. But if it was revealed, it's done.
Family
There's no man
destroyed.
who, yeah, there's no man who would take her in for marriage. And the only like and what like the marriage list becomes, the shamed marries the shamed, and whatever product that comes out of that, the child also gets shamed, which is why a lot of parents here have curfew enforced upon their female offspring specifically, and with constant warnings and constant care, because you're so scared, not because, like, maybe you don't mind, as like, you as a parent, okay, my child made a mistake, everybody does mistakes, it's fine. But the consequences of certain mistakes related to the honor of somebody in the Arab countries is so unwarranted that it kind like it just leads to weird things, culturally speaking, from a Western standpoint. Like, the West would look at this and they're like, "What the fuck is going on? Why is this important? This should be a small scale thing that happens, and then nobody cares, except everybody cares here." Like, the scandal is very, very hard to recover from in the Arab countries,
Mhm.
which is why this topic was of such sensitivity.
And just a point of reference, like a lot of people like shamed Mr. Nigga himself. Like, he's a low, filth member of society. He was a poor man and whatnot. That was incorrect. Mr. Nigga was a high-ranked officer in the army. He was not poor, and he was a highly respected member in the society. So he had no like outside pressure to kill that woman except for honor. Like and that's why a lot of people they helped with a donation for his release,
Yep,
because from
they knew what that means. Yeah.
from the theories we have, a lot of people, especially within the Mr. Nigga circle, uh, got hurt by that woman pimping their children for the princes and whatnot. And because there are the princes of our country, nobody can say anything. And again, I cannot say that she was a pimp. I'm just saying what the theory is. I cannot speak ill of the deceased. She maybe is innocent, and the one who's dumb is Mr. Nigga, but nobody knows. But everybody was like torn apart, and of course, a lot of people are showing off. Oh, we collected the $30 million in 31 hours. I bet you guys, your family cannot do that. Well, our family is not dumb. That's the
Um,
difference.
I do
I
want
have
to
a
bring something
question.
up that I'm
Mm.
Yeah.
curious about, which is the other side, the guy who took the money. Can you take that money from someone else's life? Because the point that makes me curious is that they didn't gather the money earlier because the woman's son did not accept taking money. He wanted the man to have the killer to get a life sentence.
Mhm.
Only after
True.
her son died did they take the money then by her sibling.
Yes, yes. The problem is it's the acceptance of the dia has to be agreed upon by the whole family members or the deceased sons and daughters. But because that guy refused, the others cannot do anything. And when that guy died, and according to a lot of people, and the other sons and daughters hated their mother, the deceased mother, and that's why when that brother died, they just hopped on the payment wagon and just whatever amount you guys gonna give it, just give us money so we can get rid of the whole thing. We like $10 million is $30 million is amount of money you can you will not work any day of your life even if you take just 2 million of it.
I want to propose a question for everybody here on the stream. You guys in the comments can participate too. Do you approve of the release or not? Should that guy have had the chance to be free after he murdered that person?
Yes, I think it's. You can argue the morals of the whole thing, but at the end of the day, it's just a trade agreement between people who wanted to.
And according to what I know from Kuwait's rule, you cannot agree if it's a life sentence. You cannot agree on the payment until 15 years of sentence have passed, if I'm not mistaken. So people don't abuse it much.
So the default is 15 years of time and the money.
And the money if the family of the deceased agrees upon the money.
Okay.
And I see that as like fair enough. And the release of the person like back into society, I don't know. Like, oh, you're releasing a murderer back into society. I don't think like if you kill someone, you're gonna kill again. And because Mr. Nigga was not a serial killer, he murdered out of honor, and a lot of murders happens because of that or because a certain situation or a certain someone. So if I spend my sentence plus the payment, that's fair and square. That's fair and square. And yeah, that if the law says that, okay, this is the law, we cannot like argue. But if you question the morality of the thing, the morality of the law itself, that's up for debate. We can debate that. And in the comment, like my brother says, okay, if this happened, I would kill that bitch. All right. Okay, if I can agree with you because at that moment, okay, your family got shamed, and like killing her would stop a lot of things if she was a pimp. But I don't know, like killing someone is
a big thing. Yeah, it's not
is a big
something
thing. Is a big thing. Yeah, is a big thing. All sins, all in the Islamic religion, all sins can be atoned by praying to God. Like if you commit some like a sin, you pray to God and you hope for forgiveness, and you will be forgiven. But the sin that you commit on people, that's a problem. These sins are the hardest one to be forgiven because they are the people right. The guy who got the people who of the deceased they all have to forgive you and whatnot. So it's not only the law, it's the Islamic religion also like have a saying in this because it's our Kuwait law is a mix of both, and we are an Islamic community, so it is, how can I say it, I don't know. I don't know. What do you think, guys?
Well, I tend to partially only partially agree with the decision to kill her in terms of that would stop. It was that honor, clearly. or out of the desperation to make sure that doesn't happen again. And so that mentality where if you kill the source, then people believe that it's not going to happen again. That's where my discrepancy lies, because the way I see it, somebody else is eventually just going to do the job, and you're recycling the cycle at that point.
Yeah,
somebody
they're
else,
gonna find another pimp. Yeah, fair enough.
in his eyes, he was clearly justified because that affected him, that shamed his family. It'll be interesting to see if anyone else decides to in a way prolong that tradition of my family gets shamed, I'm going to commit a murder because of it. Because that is an extreme. Like there's
It is an extreme thing, but as Trillian mentioned, honor is highly sensitive in Arab communities. It's like if one of your daughter commit adultery and it is revealed, it's not the daughter that gets shamed, the whole family. The whole family will get ashamed. They will be cast out society. Nobody would marry from them. It's just it's the ultimate destruction of family.
While on the other hand, if they do something like that about it, like kill someone, they go from that one end to the opposite end. There are now people who are just and they fight for their honor and shit, and they're willing to do the dirty work for it. And now they're on the other end of the spectrum.
I don't know.
Well,
I'm not justifying the murder. I'm not justifying the murder. The murder
We're
was
giving
wrong.
context. Yeah, we're giving context.
The murder was wrong, 100%. There is no such thing as a justified murder.
I mean,
Premeditated
that's a
murder.
big debate. Premeditated. Okay.
Yeah, premeditated murder. There is no such thing as a justified premeditated murder. There is no such thing.
Murder is murder, but let's see it media or public wise. Let's say 50% of Kuwaitis are Anus or Bedouin or nomads or whatever. Those kind of families are the most supported Khalid Nigget the most and stood with him by donating the money, which justifies the murder, which justifies the whole family from this, let's say, a title itself. Let's just ignore the fact of the murder and a lot of people standing by the Niggas family, but I think this is a money job. Myself, I really think it's a money job if that theory is true, because if they're talking about pimping and dealing with princes, some princes want to get money in many ways. Like look at the incident that happened to Sudan. Look at the incident that happened in a lot of countries or a lot of cities in Kuwait. Let's say it's a money job. Like the price was 30 million. Now it got to 10 million.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me ask this. Let's go Captain Marvel on this. If we know there's the shame associated with daughters having premarital sex, what's the perspective on males having premarital sex? Is it the same stigma? I would imagine not.
Not to the same level, but there is some sort of stigma attached to it, because now their family is like they breed sons who mess with other people's honor, who like cross boundaries and shit, and that's also like disrespectful, but not to the same extent of getting your family like that.
Male committing adultery is big. Is big. Like, you'll be shaming your family. The same thing goes on. But when females do it, it's like a whole different scale. Like
let me explain. Okay, so in Kuwaiti culture, and I've heard this from females. So basically, if a man commits adultery or does anything like that, they're like it's shameful. But guys be guys, right? You know, they're horny. They can't help themselves. So everybody's like, you've shamed your family, but we kind of get it. However, there's this misconception in Arabian culture and Asian culture in general that females don't have that horniness, that need to be sexually pleasured or sexually comforted, right? So when a female does it, it's ultra shameful because you didn't have to do it, but you did, and that makes you bad.
I don't think it stems from the. I think it's more
Yeah,
that comes
I
from.
heard that before. I heard that before.
Yeah, we've heard
Yeah.
that before. It's a common
That's
thing.
that's
But what I want to say, I think it's more stems from the whole like patriarchy, not in the way the feminists use it, but in the way that
Mm.
it's usually like you have like that daughter's father is the man of the family, and he needs to protect his family and protect his women, and someone defiled her. Thus, he's not a man. He hit that soft spot.
Oh yeah, that too.
That's very.
Yeah,
That is way more important than all girls don't get horny. It's like, oh, you're a family of men who cannot protect their kind, who cannot protect their offspring. What
Yeah,
kind of
that's
men
right.
are you? That's
Yeah,
more
that's
like
true. And one more thing, also, if men committed adultery, all right, if they don't catch a disease, nothing will change. But if women commit adultery, they will lose their virginity, which is a big deal.
No, adultery happens for. Isn't adultery for like married people, and premarital sex is the one we're
I don't know
referring
what's
to?
the difference. I don't know what's the difference.
the one
Zina.
for married people. Is like,
Zina. This is what
Oh
adultery
yeah,
means
that's
in Arabic.
actually
Zina.
that's a funny part. Here's a piece of Kuwaiti trivia for people. A lot of people, young people, if they want to engage in premarital sex, they don't do it. They don't do it with the vagina, right?
Mhm.
Because they have to maintain their chastity. You know, they have to maintain their virginity there. So they actually switch to anal sex, which nobody cares about, right?
I'm pretty sure I remember a song for like, I love Jesus, so I do anal, something like that.
Fuck me in the ass.
Yeah, yeah, that one.
I know what you're talking about. That's the beautiful part about
which is
No.
funny. Which is funny. Do you know what's worse than committing adultery? Committing anal sex. It is one of the worst forbidden sins you can do as a Muslim.
No,
It
it's
is
not. Like,
ending. It is ending. Dude,
if it's not on the
is
7
ending.
deadly sins, come debate
Dude,
me in
dude, في
your nearest
حديث on
mosque.
it, في حديث on it. All right. Let me say it in Arabic. And then we
Okay.
can translate.
Big
All right.
boys.
Yeah, all right. So, الحديث حديث صحيح. استرجم. من أتى حائضا أو امرأة في دبرها فقد كفر بما أنزل على محمد. حديث صحيح. So the saying from the Prophet says, any man who commits sex with a woman on a period or a
With
woman,
sex.
I don't know what who do sex, whatever.
I'm sorry, guys. I committed a fact.
I'm trying.
You're charged for committing a sex.
I don't get it though. That's the beautiful part about the human body, right? We have practice holes now.
Every man who approaches a woman on her period or approaches her from the other hole is an ignorer
Infidel.
an infidel, basically. An
Infidel.
ignorer of Muhammad's and Allah's words, which is the Holy Quran, which is being an infidel.
Yeah, it is that big of scale. Being an infidel is like the end of the line for you. All right, goodbye. Have a good dive in Jahannam. Look, whatever. I don't care.
He's gonna get turned into حور العين. And he's gonna get fucked from the other hole too.
Fuck off. You and your son, bro.
That's my
All
point,
right.
though. I don't get why people are so against anal? It's a practice hole.
It's not about what's against. So a lot of things in Islam we don't know. It does not have to make sense. We are not allowed to do that. We're not allowed to eat pig, or we're not allowed to drink, or we're not allowed to do that. And we don't question it. We don't question it because we don't
anal,
care.
like without protection, you're gonna get diseases and shit like that. It's much more risk and shit.
I'm not gonna get into specifics in science, but
you know the hadith though.
Yeah, it's hadith. It's not science. Don't get your science bullshit into my religion, all right? All right.
The College of Sharia law disagrees with you.
Yeah, there's
You're
one
a reverse
constant.
atheist. Like you have the atheist mentality, but in reverse.
Yeah, there is one if I'm a religious man and I'm not a scholar on anything, I have one constant I need to believe in. It's just God. Other things I do because God said so. I pray 5 times a day, and yes, we do pray 5 times a day. And like you Christian infidels who pray once a week and even bitch about it. All right, so don't get me started on this.
All right, we have stuff to do. It's hard to find a parking.
Yeah, very good religion. Very good religion. All right, whatever. So we don't question it. You do because you believe in God. All right. If you want to question the religion, question the main things, the things you have to believe in, God and whatnot. That's it. So we don't have okay. I kind of agree with you. Oh, what's the big deal with anal sex? I don't care. It's just forbidden. Whatever. We don't do it.
Okay.
Not like a person that cares, though. That's all I'm saying.
Of course you care.
So
You're
we don't
infidel.
stray. Just so we don't stray from the punchline, Aziz gave us context on how bad that is. People in Kuwait, to protect their honor and virginity, which is related to the concept of religion, of course, maintaining your honor and all that, are switching to anal sex. You know, this is the brains behind the operation. This is what the teenagers are doing, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay, how do we beat this? Oh, let's get to anal sex. The extents that people go to in order just to stick it in something is insurmountable. It beats any faith. It beats any faith. It's transcendent.
Honor is such sensitive thing. So people commit the highest amount of sins just to. Okay, I kind of want to stick it in something, but I don't want to commit a sin. But let me commit a bigger sin. It's just 3,000 IQ level of Arab filth thinking. Arabs are dumb.
Honor?
Can't comprehend.
I got a big pee-pee. Honor? But my pee-pee hard.
That's what I'm saying. There are decisions that need to be made. I'm not saying it's always the right thing.
And you know the funniest thing to me is, you know, we are very like throwing stones at our Arabian brothers here, but we have it way better than India.
Nice one.
Oh really?
No, don't go there. Don't go there.
Oh, dude, you want to talk bad? If you get raped in India, the family of the raped marries the poor chick that got raped to the guy who got raped because who else is gonna take her in?
هذا مو زواج مخافر, same thing.
No, yeah.
No, we're not talking people got caught having sex and now they marry them together to hide the scandal. No.
Assault.
Yeah. Imagine you sitting there. I'm like, okay, I want a wife. Let's go rape somebody. And it's not, by the way, it's not related to Islamic culture. You know, it's just India.
Fucking India.
Hinduism.
You know, it's all the
Stick it on
the
something.
Indian. Dude,
And people, that's why India is the second most populated country in the fucking world.
Dude,
So let me
India
get
has.
That's what I like from my man Sherlock. Just top 10 conclusions of all time.
No, Louis, okay.
Hold on
Okay.
a minute. I have to clear this up before you continue. You are telling me that in India, if I were hypothetically to have a crush on someone and I wanted her to be my wife, I could, in theory,
In theory,
go sexually assault her and then she would, by an inherent law, have to marry me. Is that what I'm hearing?
It's not
Dude.
an inherent law. It's just nobody will touch her again, right? So the
She has no
family, right? The family's like, oh shit, we have no choice. In the end, she has to give us children. She has to live a life. Somebody has to provide for her, right? But nobody will touch her. She got raped. Done.
the one thing,
So
one thing
okay,
again, the one thing great about Indian men, they have it easy. They have it easy. Right here in Arab land, if you want to get married, and a lot of people don't get married because of that thing, which is paying the dowry, which is at least $30,000. All right, paying dowry, then paying all marriage expenses. All right, then paying for the house, paying for the food, paying for everything. And by the way, the woman, she's not obligated to pay anything.
Okay, I'm gonna take this back to honor thing because this is
One second,
way common.
one second. Let me finish my point. In India, it's the other way around.
Yep.
Men sit and fuck all day, women pay everything. Dowry, marriage expenses, everything. It's just everything.
And that's why there are a lot of maids in Kuwait. Sure.
They provide. Yeah, because they provide.
Stop
They
it!
have to
No.
provide.
Look. The thing is, how to marry a woman in India. Bill Cosby that bitch and get some money, go back to your country and send her as a fucking maid. Like some point in the
And
other
Life hacks,
fucking-
right?
Repeat.
You sit in
Infinite
your
wives.
ass in your house. You receive monthly income from her hard work from the Arab land of Kuwait.
The Arab land of Kuwait.
or the whole fucking Gulf.
Oh, the whole fucking Gulf.
Well,
Yes.
Yeah,
Get
that's a
fucking
weird concept.
brainwashed.
It's a weird concept. But yeah, Ma, you did not mention your point. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna talk about. He mentioned the whole paying the dowry and stuff for it, and it's. I'm not sure if it's worse than in the Gulf, but up in the Levant, it is where most of the whole honor thing goes. It's like we want a few $100,000 to give you my daughter's hand in marriage, because if I don't, people will go gossip around that I gave away my girl for cheap and stuff like that. And it's like, if you don't give us a shit ton of money, then you're saying she's not worth it, and our family is dog shit. And that's why a lot of women end up just never getting married because of their parents.
Yep, and the amount of money keep increasing. The dowry, like back in the day, was less than 10K, way less than 10K US dollars. Then, because of what Matt said, kept increasing, and now the average is $30,000. I remember a Kuwaiti TV series back in the day, back in like 10 more than 10 years ago, and the guy said this rich man came and gave a dowry of $30,000, and everybody was, wow, what is the $30,000? Nowadays 30,000 is the average for a dowry. And
to have someone, you have to build a tent and
adjusted for
run
inflation.
50 fingers in a wedding, tape that whole thing, air it on television, invite all of the famous media people, get the latest and the most fancy catering for like $3.5 million at least.
Yeah, this is the Gulf way. We don't do that shit in the Levant. In the Levant, we basically get like 6 limousines and 5 Hummer trucks, and just close out an entire street and just keep honking all the way from the groom's house to the maid's house. And basically, you have to have like really big cars at the end, so everyone gets stuck in traffic, and the line looks way bigger than it is.
What we do here is we close the street, and two guys drift together, and they
Yeah.
have to. Yeah, the drifting is a cultural thing. Drifting.
The bride and the husband dancing together.
Yes.
It's
So
a fun thing.
if my friends don't drift in my wedding, oh, bad friends. They don't do the
No, I'm more of a fan of the other tradition we have in Kuwait. I don't know if it's a Gulf specific, but Aziz knows of what I speak.
It's not
there's
a tradition. Don't get
tradition.
me started. Don't get me triggered. Don't get me angry, please. It's not tradition. It did not
Please get
happen
him
to my
triggered.
wedding.
Please, we need entertainment.
It's not a tradition.
Well, I don't know where it came from, and I never did it because I don't go to many weddings. But usually, like from what I understand, if you get married in Kuwait, and because the thing is you're gonna lose your virginity, right? You're gonna become a man today, right? So they have to somehow take that away from you, right? So it became like something some people do. They didn't do it to Aziz, but so you say hi to the to what's his name, to what's it, the groom? Is that what they call him? Yeah, the groom. And
To
then
Bill
you
Cosby.
just you pose to take a picture, and as you're taking the picture, you just fondle with his butt a bit. And the idea is you're gonna lose your virginity. We're gonna
Fingerly.
we're just gonna like take away your manliness until you finally become a man. And it's such a weird thing to do, right?
Here's
And
the
it
thing
just
that we
became like,
Before you go to the bride.
Shame on you. Hell.
here's the thing that we have, and I was really confused by it when I saw it when I was a kid and in my uncle's weddings. Is basically like the groom comes in like normal everyday clothes, right? He goes on stage in front of the entire like people invited. They put a blanket in front of him, and he changes into his tuxedo in front of everyone.
oh, so transformation, huh? Transformers.
Transformers. No, he changes his clothes, underwear and all in front of everybody.
Oh, but there's a towel.
Yeah, but there's a towel. But I
But what if
remember
it
looking
drops?
into my other uncle's eyes, and he was like tearing up. Like that was the moment that it happened, you know? His brother grew up. It was an emotional moment.
That's how you know. That's how you know you've made it, folks. If you're changing in front of people.
So yeah, Arabic culture for people.
No, I like that one. I really do. Like that's how you show you're a real man. You know, it's one thing to fuck a girl doggy style. It's another thing to have the balls to change in front of people.
In our area, we call it goat style, my friend.
I like that one better, actually, too. Yeah.
Yes.
So I think we talked about this enough. Let's move on to another topic.
What? What else are we gonna talk about that's gonna top this trillion?
Americans.
I don't know. Like, tell us your marriage traditions. What do you guys do? Do you sit down and it's like, I'm so proud of you, son?
Yes, that's exactly what we do.
Women crying, oh, my son is growing up. I can't believe this. Here we stand together to witness this moment. And funniest thing is the atheists marry Christian style. Like, it doesn't matter, right? Let's steal that off people.
Yeah, because they're unoriginal.
Yeah, fucking bitches. Make your own fucking marriage ceremony.
Yeah, go marry
Or you
out in the
dab or
woods
something.
somewhere, right? And instead of like a Bible, you can read like Charles Darwin or something.
Yes.
It's just like a random page 69 out of his
Excuse
his latest
me.
book.
My church reads Richard Dawkins.
You could read Richard Dawkins too, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, that's Richard Dawkins. Ugh.
I think that is an important issue threatening our society, actually. atheists appropriating Christian culture by marrying in our style.
Yes.
What can we do
that's
about
what we
that?
needed. That's what we needed to see in Endgame. God damn it!
Exactly. Marvel's not answering the real questions here. That's the next phase. They know they whoops. They knew they weren't ready to answer that question yet. We need more buildup. We need more short haircuts.
Yes.
Oh, guys, witness the first atheist superhero. I don't believe in God. As
I
Thor
can't
is
wait.
passing by, you know?
Yeah.
With his beer.
Look,
And
Tony
watch
Stark
the
is an atheist.
character.
I bet Hulk is fucking Jewish. He looks fucking Jewish. I don't know why.
It's
He does.
but he
it's the nose.
He does. look
Yeah, it's the
Jewish.
nose and the hair.
Yeah, the hair,
I
the
bet
hair.
he smashed. God damn it! Hulk smash!
If he was Jewish, he would have a bit of a problem every time going to the supermarket, taking money out of his wallet. Just straight up green guy in the middle of the supermarket.
I mean, no one's getting past that change, that's for sure.
Jew people. I know, right?
Haha, Jew is
So-
funny.
Louis, there's something you told me about a while back, and it relates to Endgame, since we segued back into it. Which is, I was trying to talk about the movie, and I'm like, Marvel movies are great if you turn off your brain and watch them, right?
Oh, let's get this
yeah.
off my chest.
Yeah, you had a rant going off. I saved it up for you.
I am sick and tired of this turn your brain off argument. Contrary to popular belief nowadays, but using your brain is actually a good thing, folks. And you don't have to physically turn off your brain in order to enjoy something, even if it's stupid, even if it's a superhero movie. But I'm tired of people using this excuse to defend shit. Not even a guilty pleasure, just shit. Just a terrible movie comes out and they like it.
Pet Cemetery, right?
But they don't have, like you're gonna trust a movie where they can't even spell the word properly, right? And
What
oh my
if we
God.
use 100% of our brain? Watches Captain Marvel.
we will all have 500 trillion infinity IQ. And the universe.
Here's the thing, Louis. Here's the thing,
It's not
Louis.
about
I've
that's-
mentioned this.
People didn't use this argument for Endgame. People used it for Pet Cemetery. People used it for, I heard it for Black Panther. People used it for superhero movies a lot. Aquaman in particular, because Lord, what have they done? People are going to use it for a lot of movies. People are going to use it for Sonic because just looking at that is an eyesore.
Oh no, people did not accept Sonic. The new Sonic, people were so angry they're gonna fix him now.
Yeah, the director was like, okay, fuck, we messed up. 1
Okay,
second.
fine, yeah.
The one time I agree with directors listening to fans.
No. Here's the thing. I'm all about
Yeah,
the turn off your brain argument. I'm all about that. Except there's a missing component to anything you ever say that is very important, but people miss it. Within reason, right? When I say turn off your brain, I mean just don't become CinemaSins. You know, don't go and like every shot you stop and you're like, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. It's good entertainment for CinemaSins, don't get me wrong, but you're not gonna enjoy a movie. You might as well go back to a book if you're just gonna critique everything. So what I mean by shut your brain off is just like, you know, watch the cinematography play out. Like, don't let certain stuff that happens in the movie ruin the entire experience for you. Enjoy what's good about it and nitpick the bad later, but appreciate whatever is good is in the movie. The only time where you're allowed to say a movie is total dog shit is where even when you shut your brain, Pet Cemetery, it's just stupid. You don't enjoy
Normally, I agree with you. Normally. But this has become a buzzword and a meme at this point. And it's a meme that doesn't get the meme treatment that it deserves because people take it seriously. We heard this I was hearing this for Game of Thrones. Well, just turn your brain off. It's a fight scene. No, it's what the series has been leading up to for 8 seasons. You shouldn't have to turn your brain off here. There's something at stake. It's you're not watching the Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah, I think it depends on what you're watching. So, for example, like my example for this is if I'm watching Yu-Gi-Oh, all right, I enjoy the show, but the plot is dog shit. But I enjoy the dueling, so what I do is I just turn off my brain. I know the plot is shit. I'm not gonna defend it. I just enjoy the dueling action. And same thing goes for like Dragon Ball, for example. The plot is non-existent. There is no plot. The fighting scenes, though, they are like enjoyable, arguably. So yeah, this is what turn your brain off argument works. It depends on what you're watching. But for example, if you're watching an anime like something complicated like
Let's go. Let's not go
Steins.
far. Death Note. Let's not go far. Something
Yeah,
everybody knows.
all right. Death Note, for example, and the whole sequence is like story wise is solid, and there is this one giant plot hole at the end. Oh my god!
Yeah,
Oh my!
ignore. It's fine. It's
Oh
fine.
my
It's fine.
god! Okay, I'm gonna pretend I'm not. I did not see that. All right, the camera right here. I need something. Something. All right, and I'm, the story is all about the plot, the whole sequence of things going on. Then there is suddenly a giant plot hole. I cannot turn off my brain. Like, what you talking about? Same thing goes for like Endgame. Like, when things don't make sense, they don't make sense because it's part of the plot. I cannot turn off my brain. It's not about the fighting; it's about the story. And one example is like when Ant-Man came back from the quantum realm. He said like 5 years is like 2 hours. But when Mrs. Van Dyne came back from the plot from the quantum realm, she's like 6 zillion years old. What's all that about? In theory, she should not have aged like only 24 hours. That's incorrect.
Okay.
Read enough Reddit posts that justify it.
No. Here's the thing. To me, there's a difference between ignoring a plot hole and having a degree of suspension of belief. So, in Infinity War, Thor gets beat up by Thanos, right? Just gets decimated, and then Thanos leaves, and Thor is left alone there. Half his people are gone on the other ship, and now the other half is dead, and everybody's dead, and now he's sitting there, just beat up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the Guardians just happen to find the distress signal. Somebody would sit there and was like, how is it possible for the Guardians to find the distress signal? This is stupid. This is just to move the plot along. This is bad. Here is where I suggest a little bit of suspension of belief, because if you're that's when this is where turn your brain off to me is important. But for example, let's not go far. Captain America went back in time in Endgame, right, to return all the Infinity Stones back to their original place, and then he went back. Yeah, and then went back the long way back to what do you call it, to where the plot needs him, and then he gave the shield back to everybody and all that. Except there's a problem with this. They explained in the movie that whenever you go back in time, you don't change the past. You create an alternate reality where now things have changed. So if Captain America went back and did all his things with Miss Carter, and then went back the long way, technically he shouldn't be there. He should be in that alternate timeline he went to. He shouldn't be back in the regular past. What's up with that? Right? It gave us a great cinematography piece where you see the end of Captain America's arc. He finally did something selfish for himself, because in Endgame, the characters of Tony Stark and what's his name, Captain America, shifted tone. Captain America became the selfish one, did something selfish once, and Tony Stark did something selfless by sacrificing himself. That was the end to both their character arcs, right? So we saw that. You can nitpick it, but a degree of suspension of belief would help you here, right? It's fine. Just enjoy the dramatic moment. It's only when something stupid happens and there's no justification for suspension of belief that's when you get angry and get nitpicky and get. They don't have enough time to explain all the plot points. It's a movie in the end. It's already 3 hours and 2 minutes. Endgame. They're gonna have to skip over some stuff. That doesn't mean it's a plot hole or that it doesn't make sense and we should be angry about it. It just means just have a little bit of suspension of belief.
And I don't disagree. My point is just people overuse it, and as a result, it gets delineated to too much bullshit that doesn't deserve it. It doesn't deserve the benefit of the doubt of the suspension of belief because it is just stupid. There are plenty of stories that do have plot holes.
Yeah.
That is a fact.
That's fine. Yeah, we can all agree.
That is a fact that says people are dumb. They're gonna overuse, abuse everything. People are just dumb. We are intellectuals here. This is a high level podcast.
No. Aziz.
My
No.
IQ is 3 digits,
No.
by the way.
None of that. None
Just
of that
putting
Rick
it
and
out
Morty
there.
bullshit.
Guys, 3 digits. Okay.
Hey guys, Redditor with 170 IQ here.
I have 2 degrees and I'm only 16. I work in NASA. Thank you. Don't mind my Minecraft profile.
Aziz, either you stop.
Did you see Elon Musk? He put a Full Metal Alchemist profile pic in his Twitter account. Like
What a
Elon
legit.
Musk is a weeb.
Was there ever really any doubt though that Elon Musk would be an anime fan?
Like now I cannot take Elon Musk seriously because he has Full Metal Alchemist as his profile picture. Like what's wrong with you, Elon?
You remember when what's his name who made Smash Bros? That guy put his Twitter profile pic as just a random black fat guy, and it became his the first picture you see when you Google his name on.
Who's the maker of Kirby?
Bro, those anime profile pics, I'm telling you. The real intellectuals understand.
The
But
real
that is-
intellectuals.
Solidify your point.
All right. We got a question in the comment saying, what's wrong with the Sonic movie? Okay, I answered Sonic himself looks awful. The movie trailer looks fine. But he replies, okay, it's a live action movie. Did you see the Pokemon Detective Pikachu movie? Like Charizard looks awful. Greninja looks awful. What's wrong with Sonic himself? Like, why are you guys angry? It's a CGI thing.
Sonic doesn't have Ryan Reynolds, who is easily going to save every negative element of that film, though.
The thing is about Sonic. The thing
go ahead.
about Sonic is
I mean,
they tried to make him a live action character by separating his iconic eyes. He has this iconic visor shaped eyes that go to the middle of his nose, which is connected. And it's weird, but everyone is used to that look. They tried to make him like a hedgehog, which made him look like a fucking
monster. Like.
yes. He looked like a fucking nightmarish meme, which is popular right now. And
Dr. Eggman, Jim Carrey.
Oh, look, it's Jim Carrey playing another Jim Carrey character. What a surprise.
What a surprise, but a pleasant one nonetheless.
I miss
They didn't cry at the end where they had the egghead look. That's where I could respect it to a certain degree. But it's just Sonic, dude. Sonic's mouth creeps me out. I'm glad they're redoing everything. I'm not gonna watch that like that. I'm not gonna sit through 2 hours of that.
Dude, I think the movie trailer looks awesome. Like apart from how Sonic looks, the trailer looks good.
Here's my problem.
Spending most our lives living in a gangster's paradise.
No, I have
trailer. It's not the trailer.
Trailer. Let me get
It's
this.
not the trailer. It's Jim Carrey. It's Jim Carrey. That wasn't a trailer. That was just Jim Carrey.
It's just Jim Carrey.
Jim
I
Carrey
Messing around.
carrying the movie. Like
have another
I'm
problem.
gonna carry the whole movie on my shoulder.
You know when so at the end of the trailer you see Sonic and all these like 5,000 missiles get shot at him and he has like the flash reflexes, right? He's able to see them coming and he just like he starts dodging them and starts knocking some of them down.
Mhm.
Literally like
Quicksilver.
earlier he gets shot with a tranquilizer dart and passes out.
No, he wasn't charged up, man. He didn't have enough rings.
I've never seen an inconsistency trailer that blatant. That hurt me.
Let's think about it for a second. If he like moved that fast and he hit one of them rockets with his leg, would it be the equivalent of that rocket hitting him from a physical standpoint?
Kids movie. I'm not trying to analyze that
No.
right. What irritated
You opened the
Of
subject.
belief.
the dart scene.
Suspension of belief, guys.
With it because it is a kids movie. So
I'm hyped. I like
No.
Sonic, so I'm hyped.
No, but seriously,
I-
why the fuck did they put that song for a Sonic movie?
Ah no, I'm
Thanks.
hyped.
That was
I don't
all
care.
what I was thinking the whole damn trailer.
Well, all I care about is that Men in Black is gonna come, and it has the cast of Thor Ragnarok, which I'm very happy about.
Yes.
And I hope they don't fuck up my childhood like they did with fucking Hellboy. That's all I hope
Yes.
for.
Oh, I
Thor
see.
Ragnarok.
I'm guessing you don't recommend it.
The Hellboy.
The newest Hellboy. I'm guessing you don't recommend it.
I didn't watch it, but I don't need to. I looked at the trailers. That looks bad. And then I saw people's opinions of it, and that looks even worse than I thought. I was gonna watch it just for the sake of it being Hellboy, but I'm not gonna offend my childhood. I'm sorry. They should have continued the trilogy instead of rebooting.
Right. One question in the comments says, it's about movies and spoilers and whatnot. Like some of
Yeah, in
my
the comment
friends,
section. Yeah.
does not watch trailers because it spoils a lot of movie. It's like Abby style, عرفت شلون?
Yeah.
What do you think? Like,
Well,
Okay,
actually,
here's the thing.
I watched the Sonic trailer because now I know that scene is coming in the movie. The dart scene and the rocket scene. And for comparison's sake, I can actually prepare myself for that. Can you imagine someone like Abby or hell, even someone like me watching that for the very first time? Oh, that's the very first thing they're gonna notice afterwards. I might
Not
throw
really.
No,
I
no,
wouldn't remember it by then. There'd be like an hour worth of movie between them.
Oh, I have a feeling the ones that nitpick, they will care. Those people don't forget.
Oh. No, here's the thing about trailers. Some trailers do the mistake of putting too much of the movie out there. I bring you Batman v Superman. When they brought what's his name? Was it Darkseid? Was it Darkseid, right?
Do you bleed?
When they put him in the trailer, everybody that had the exact opposite effect. You were supposed to be hyped. Now everybody got disappointed because that got spoiled for them. If he showed up out of nowhere and he's the real baddie, the movie might have been less, like by 1 degree less shit.
They forgot
Right.
to have Martha in the trailer.
But some trailers do it right. The Endgame trailer showed you nothing, right? Another thing, sometimes people just want to know if the movie's worth going to watch. If you need that knowledge, the trailers are for you. If you don't need that, for example, nobody needed to watch a trailer for Endgame, besides knowing that it's gonna come. You could. Somebody told you, "Hey, you want to watch Endgame?" You'll be like, "Sure." You won't be like, "Oh, is it good?" Right? So, trailers have this thing. If you don't like what's being spoiled, I don't agree with you, but it's your thing. Go ahead. Don't get spoiled. Take word of mouth or whatever method you like to choose to get your reviews out there. I don't see a problem. It's just movie trailers should be an art that is more carefully constructed.
Well, the thing with trailers too is that it opens itself up to the vulnerabilities of theory crafting. So I think we've all seen those videos on YouTube where people take trailers and they break them down frame by frame and they find everything, every single little Easter egg that they can find in the trailer. And
Don't they
that
do that like after
potentially
every
spoils.
single Game of Thrones episodes? For like the next episode, they theorize every frame
Oh,
of the
I stay away from those. I will do it for certain movies or shows, but I'll stay away from the ones that I care about because I know that the people who do these for the most part, they'll at least they're grasping at straws, but they can be onto something. And as soon as they find that something, that starts a snowball effect of somebody figuring something else out, and then you actually get like a lot of these people like for Game of Thrones, for example, they don't read the books, but they keep theory crafting, and eventually they get so interested, they dive into a Reddit thread full of people who have read the books, and then that confirms their belief that they want that, and just eventually they'll come back to the comment section and be like, "Hey guys, this is just my theory here," even though they took it from like 3 other guys, and eventually that can spoil
Um,
for you because it gets you thinking
trailer
in a way
analysis.
that the trailer was not originally intended.
Dude, trailer analysis is just clickbait for people who can't wait a fucking for anything. You know, some people can't wait, so they watch theory videos. I personally, if I watch theory videos, it's to get more ideas. Because to me, I don't care about spoilers. So my thing is, I want to predict what's going to happen, and after I predict it, I want to see other people's opinions to add to my own theory. And after that, I want to see whether it was right or not. I enjoy that process, so I do it. But if you just want to know and you click anyway, you're dumb. I don't watch the ones for Thrones. The only one I watched recently was Endgame, to be honest. And because it took so long, and I'm like, oh, I have my own theory on how this is going to go. I want to see other people's theories too.
Yeah, and you would be right to. I mean, I think most people predicted most of what was going to happen. So there wasn't any real mystery there. Most of the breakdowns were just like, who else is going to die besides so and so?
Yeah, it's like, okay, what are we going to see? And I always like a movie when I can't predict it. I remember like my thing back in the day when the reason I was such a fan of Hunter x Hunter, the anime or the manga series, was I could not predict it. No matter what I predict, like the writer goes in another direction, and that's something that was new to me for anime at that time. Usually, it's just so predictable. I can just sit and go to bed, and then and I would I don't need to watch the episodes to predict what's going to happen. It's a formula, right? So anything that breaks formula for me and does something unexpected and misdirects me into thinking something, I really respect that in movies and in entertainment. So that's why I theory craft, to be wrong.
No, it's fun. I'm not gonna deny that it's a guilty pleasure people have, but I laugh at the people that claim they don't want to be spoiled and then literally just walk right into it. Well, I don't want to know how Endgame ends, but I'm gonna watch this theory video of a person whose entire channel is dedicated to Marvel comics and the movies, knows what they're talking about. It's different if you watch a video of some dipshit who doesn't know what they're doing, and they're just like, yeah, so I think that Black Widow's pretty hot. Captain America doesn't swear. Iron Man's cool. And then you never. Those are actually the hidden gems in the theory community, if that's a thing on YouTube. But the ones that they 30-minute analyses, they're gonna break down frame by frame in a trailer. If you don't want to get spoiled, why are you here?
Dude, the new Pokemon game, Sword and Shield, it had a trailer, a 1 minute trailer. 1 minute. All right. And we streamed it because I got a Pokemon channel. I got Kunlun and Abby we streamed it together, and that bald guy was he's the one who suggested we do that together, but he shows up only for the fucking salt grinder.
I was asleep. What do you want from me?
To the point. All right. So we broke So we watched the 1 minute trailer and was like, and we were surprised it was 1 minute. We gathered all the guys and all right, what do we do? What do we do? Well, let's break it down frame by frame. We did that. All right, we like concluded some like cute things, but nothing major. It was a 1 minute trailer. What do you want to do?
Does
Then
Pikachu have a new short haircut?
he has more.
He has more.
Hey. So a week later, one guy deciphers the language that was inside the Pokemon world shown in the trailer itself. Because they use like the world's language. He deciphered the language by seeing a logo on the board that spells Game Freak in its in their own language. So he translated every single word in the side of the game and whatnot. Then he did not stop frame by frame. In every shot, he zooms in every corner, in every single frame, like 0.001 second. And inside that, we see a shadow of a wolf, like hopping for a millisecond and going away. It's impossible to see without doing that. Like people dedicate their life to do that, and companies, like interestingly, they offer as much. Like I was surprised to see that. So I don't blame people to that they their job to dissect trailers and whatnot, because you can find a lot of interesting stuff. Like it's fun. It's a treasure hunt.
Yeah,
Oh, I
who
can
cares
only
about
imagine some of the
discovering?
companies have when they're making the trailers. Like how much time do you think they spend brainstorming how much time they can spend nerds waste their time?
Yeah. It's like it's all over the internet. People fanboying about it.
Yeah.
Like it's insane.
I think it's out of us like an inherent need. Like you know how like people like there are mathematicians, scientists, stuff like that, and everybody like there's always an effort to progress and discover new things and all that. Well, you can see this as the casual version. You know, like people like I don't want to spend 10 years to discover something new. How about I dissect this trailer as somebody who's knowledgeable in the lore of the series, and I'm a fan of the series, so I know a lot about it. So I deconstruct this layer and discover something, and I get the same gratification that a mathematician would get or a physicist would get if he discovers a new theorem or corrects an old theorem and all that. It's like it's a common trend I've seen. People want like that. I discovered something new, or I put my mark on something, and because they don't want to pay all the work, do all the work necessary to actually discover something of worth or of value, of true value, they do it in a more casual, more chill way in trailers and in video games and in books and in all these things.
Look, if you're talking about value, like that makes money, and money is value. It's worth the time you spend on.
Especially on YouTube now, where everything is retention for the sake of the algorithms. The companies know that, and they know that if they fill the trailers chock full of potential theory baits or these hidden gems or these Easter eggs, people are going to go out of their way to find it. They spend a lot of time on the video. They make a video about it, thus directing others to those particular parts in the video. It's a gold mine.
Yeah, it's free publicity to the extreme.
Well, it's the world we live in.
I think it's one of the more clever marketing tactics, if you can even call it that, that companies have hopped on. It's just like I mentioned, when people do it right, it's great to watch. People do it wrong, it's funny. And but I have to admit that when people do it right, and it can potentially ruin your experience if that's not what you're looking for.
Conclusion.
Let's
Brain farted mid-sentence. I think that was it.
let's continue the okay, let's continue the topic with the Easter eggs gone the wrong way, connected to religion. I sent a video that day to Trillion about Easter eggs and this.
Oh, the
white
monster
mom.
thing. Oh. Actually, let's not
Yes.
react to it. Let's not react to it. Let me send the link to you, Louis.
Yes,
Uh,
please.
uh,
This video is just perfect. How Easter eggs and religion can go so fucking wrong. It
no,
just
it's not
becomes
religion. It's not religion. It's paranoid moms. That's what it is.
Isn't it all?
What?
Let's-
What's your Pokemon is
Uh,
haram? This is what Easter egg is.
it's
no,
worse.
this one's
Okay,
better.
where's the
Better.
video?
Okay.
It's
Okay, I
worse.
sent it to Louis. Okay, I sent it to Louis. Now we're gonna live react to it all together.
I'm gonna turn on my volume on high as they can be. Oh boy.
Yeah,
Can I just? Okay, I'm gonna let everybody see the title first. Let me screen
you're
share.
gonna love it. You're just gonna love it. I was confused the whole video. Oh goddamn! How energy drinks can lead to something really serious. Let's say
No, it's
Powerhorse is actually sponsored by
no,
Ferrari.
The work of
don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. You're the reason everybody can't enjoy video games.
The work of
Endgame.
Satan.
This
The
title
work
is,
of Satan.
reason enough. Monster energy drinks are the work of Satan.
Satan.
Go ahead and play it, please.
All right.
all right. Let's see. Can you guys hear anything?
Nope.
No.
That's as high as it goes.
I saw that.
Have your mic closer to the speaker so it picks it up.
And go back to the beginning.
And yeah, to the beginning.
Nope.
Nope.
No,
Good?
no audio.
Set your
No
gain
idea.
on
Nope,
5,000.
Yeah, that's the only thing left to do, right?
Why was it working last week, but not now?
Yeah, that's the weird thing. I thought it worked.
Sometimes
It's the
screen
exact
sharing
same setup.
only shares. They don't does not share audio all the time. I don't know.
But this is YouTube.
Does somebody else want to try it?
All right, send me the link.
All right, sure. Actually, let me post it in group, like in our very private group chat.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
All right, let me try it out. All right. So how do we do this? Screen share. Settings. How do we do screen share?
Should be
Screen
a,
share.
yeah, there we go.
All right. There we go. Share. Let's go. You guys watching?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. 1 second. All right. Do you hear anything?
No audio.
Nope.
No
No
audio.
idea.
Oh, the
Okay, I have an
problem is
idea. I have an idea.
we're not sharing
I have an idea.
audio. It's just screen sharing. It's not audio sharing.
No, I have an
One
idea. I have an
second.
idea.
Right.
Okay, can you guys hear this?
Look at your M closely.
Yep.
There's a gap right here in the
I've
All right.
seen this video actually.
Okay. Aziz, let's sync this up. All right.
All right.
On 3.
For sure. Go ahead.
High quality content, guys.
Very.
Would-
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Click.
Look at your M closely. There's a gap right here in the letter M. It's never connected. So you go into Hebrew. The letter Vav is also the number 6. Short top, long tail. Short top, long tail. You could have here in Hebrew 666 on the can. But my interest is the word monster. What do you see in the O? There's a cross. Okay. What has Christ got to do with an energy drink, let alone the name Monster? So I thought, well, maybe this is a Christian company then. BFC at the bottom of the can. Do you know what that stands for? That's the F word. Big can. In fact, they write it on the side of the can, so I know that's the F word. Okay. Now, do you know what a MILF is? Yes. That's on the box. MILFs dig it, and you will too. This is not a Christian company at all. So why would they have a cross on the can? Here is the message. Antichrist. 666 in Hebrew. And then the Bible talks about the beast in Revelation. And look at Monster's ad. This is their statement. You see these M's everywhere. Hats, t-shirts, bumper stickers. Is there another agenda here? If God can use people and product, so can Satan. And look at it this way. Even if the M was not the issue, you cannot deny that that is a cross. And what is witchcraft? When the cross goes upside down, bottoms up, and the devil laughs. Something to think about. Wow. This is how clever Satan is and how he gets into the Christian home and a Christian's life, and it breaks God's heart. Jesus said, my people perish for lack of knowledge. That's awesome. I've never even seen that.
This is
How come
actually
she
impressive.
didn't bring out any peer-reviewed papers?
Brilliant.
She could easily make like a paper about this.
This
The
actually
whole-
impresses
I'm
me.
convinced. I'm convinced.
Yeah, she could sell me a car. Did you see? Did you hear that? How many hours of preparation and of of rehearsing do you think it took her?
Zero. It's probably like second nature.
Dude,
She looks like the type of person that would ask to see the manager, huh? She just needs the bowl
She's
cut.
seeing the
haircut.
manager right now.
How many pounds and liters of wine and NyQuil does it take to solve this shit?
How many long lonely nights?
No.
Yeah.
How many times your son is playing Fortnite while drinking this? You gotta
Oh,
see in
yeah.
order to do it.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
this
real
take.
the real pain is in that household. Her kids probably love her.
Dude, I can agree with that mother because the filth who is my brother right here in the comments, he drink Monster and play Fortnite all day long.
And eat
So I'm not-
Doritos.
I assume. And so
Because
yeah.
of the work. Not, yeah.
I don't blame that mother for like watching her child drink all that Satan drink and playing that Satan game all day long.
My problem is not the fact that all the bad shit that comes when just drinking a regular energy drink. Like, let's not care about that. No, it's the work of the devil.
Yeah, it's the work of the
You know?
devil.
That's the important part. Not all the negative stuff that comes in your body from drinking an energy drink. That's fine. You can do that to yourself. But because it's the work of Satan, now we need to worry. Now let's sit down.
Oh yeah, everybody knows Pikachu means I'm a Jew. Everybody knows that.
Yes, that's actually something they did here too. Like
In Arab
Pokemon
land.
is the work of the devil and the Jews, and Pikachu means God is weak or something, and Pokemon means I love Satan, and it's beautiful.
God,
Even the Christians.
I
Even the
love these
Christians.
conspiracies. I love this
Look.
shit, bro.
Look, Pikachu sounds like a Nazi slang. Pick a Jew.
Pikachu. I'm a Jew. Oh yeah.
Pick a Jew, any Jew. No, bro. Oh my god, I eat this
Dude.
stuff up. The only thing I love more than conspiracies is dumbass people making conspiracies.
Dude, one guy made back when forums were a thing, made a whole forum on how NBC3, which is like a cartoon channel, is the backed up by Illuminati and shit because of Yu-Gi-Oh. Because of Yu-Gi-Oh has the reverse triangle with the eye on it.
Oh yeah.
And he made all fuss about it, but that guy is so dumb that he does not know what the Eye of Horus is. And and that what basically Yu-Gi-Oh is all about. The triangle is the pyramid, and the eye is the eye of Horus, which is the protection, which all pharaohs did have on back in Egypt. And that guy made, look at this Illuminati and crap, and why not? People believe that banned their kids from watching
Dude,
Yu-Gi-Oh.
dude, don't you remember that? Don't you remember that cafe commercial that
Oh,
became
yeah.
big?
Yeah,
There was a cafe commercial. Yeah, it was like it had a rap song, an Arabic rap song, and it had like some like weird symbolic psychedelic shit going on. One of them, of course, beheading beheading the symbol of Starbucks, which was my favorite. I loved that.
Yeah,
That was-
that's the best part.
Beheading the mermaid. Yeah, beheading the mermaid. Some Illuminati in the background, and it was cool and it was edgy, and that's what it was meant to be taken as. What did people take it as? A conspiracy. They took it
Illuminati
as this
cafe.
is the Illuminati trying to control you, and everybody suddenly in the entire Arab world cared about the Masons, the Freemasons. You know, everybody was talking about the Masons now. Oh, you know the Masons and what they're doing, and you know this commercial, and you're like, what the fuck is wrong with all of you?
Because
Where did
people
you
are
come from?
bored.
Dude, you gotta give the Masons one thing. They're cool. Women are not allowed to join Masons. This is amazing.
That's what you care about.
Dude, of course
They're
that's what I
taking
care
over the
about.
world, man.
Yeah,
Dude, as long as there are no women taking over the world. Dude. As long as there are no women taking of the world, I'm fine. Let all George Soros and stuff take all the world. I'm fine. As long as it's not like Clinton on something dumb.
Hold on,
And-
but we know that if women ran the world, there would be no wars. That's what they tell us.
Mhm. Dude,
Women can be good at being one thing. Women can be good at being a fucking lawyer because all they do is share fucking secrets and they are good liars. God damn it! All they do is fucking lie.
Yes. I remember I watched this. I think it was a meme or something, or a parody from a video, like a National Geographic videos. You know, one of those that explore cultures. So they went to Africa, and in this tribe, they're interviewing a woman. And the woman is like, "We don't allow women power here because, we don't allow men power here because if you give men power, they're gonna abuse it." And then in the comment section of that video or that documentary, and that's the meme, is like, yeah, that's why you have mud water and I have pizza. It was just so beautiful.
Dude, one guy, friends of my father. My father works in the army, so they have some American dudes there. And back when Kuwait, back in the day, we did not have women in the parliament, so they wanted to start like they want to allow that woman can be in the parliament. And that American guy like told my father, please don't ruin what you guys have. You woman, dude, that American guy was so mad that Kuwaiti women are getting into parliament. Guys, you don't understand. This is bad for you. Women are good for shopping, and that's it. That American dude said literally that. You're gonna ruin Kuwait, and a year later, our prince died.
You know, some people are ahead of their curb, but not ahead of their time.
Yeah.
It's a shame. They have to wait for the time to catch up to their ideas.
Yeah. Dude. Women. I know, right? This is a good it's just men podcast.
Have we ever had a girl on the anime law?
I think
Or
I
the
saw
assault
it.
Yeah,
grinder?
no. I don't think so. Like maybe in
I
the
don't
comment
know.
section, but I don't pay attention.
I don't know. I don't think
We've had him in the
comment
comments, I know, but I'm not sure. Have we had did we ever have a guest back then with
section. I don't know. Does
No,
Abby
I
consider
don't know.
as a
Does
woman?
Abby count?
Abby's like,
There is a gamer girl out there that wants to be on this podcast. Please contact us.
No,
you know?
none of that.
Yes, we
I-
need gamer
Points
girls,
if
man.
you
Of
have,
course.
Trillion, this is
Colorful
your
hair,
chance.
that would be
I
nice.
assume Tuesday we're gonna do the feminist book thing, right? In the divan.
Yeah, the book club. The book club and the divan. Yeah,
All right, so it's your chance to invite all the feminists in the podcast.
Be brave.
No, guys.
Real spicy.
Guys, hold on. I want to turn into a gamer girl.
Oh, that's hot.
Mm.
Oh my god, guys! Thank you so much for your subscription. That means a lot to me. I really love if you guys like enjoy my content. It really means a lot to me. Thank you.
Oh my god!
Thank you so
guys,
much.
thanks for the donation.
Then you occasionally, like every hour or so, pick up the mouse or the controller and mash buttons for a couple seconds. Oh, I died. Huh. Hey, you want to order some food? Watch me eat it? Using
Q&A
your
section.
donations.
A big sausage pizza.
Oh, have you seen the ones that purposely spill sauce on them and they're like, oh no, it's on my shirt. Guess I have to go change it now. And they come back in something even less or more revealing.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
no, I gotta wash the stain. Let me pour my G Fuel on here real quick. Sponsored by G Fuel.
Dude, it's an art, I'm telling you. They know how to manipulate 12-year-olds and very thirsty men.
Yeah, they do. They
Dude,
do.
every streamer, every thought streamer out there, they know the formula. They know that men show them boobs, and yep, all the money flows right there, right here, right now.
I guess we can wrap up with this actually. What's your take on the discrimination going on with female gamers and how there's significantly less of them competing in pro esports, and that is somehow a problem even though they're doing what they wanted, which is to base them solely off skill. And it's just that they're a lot better pro male gamers than pro female gamers. How do you think this is going to evolve?
All I can say is this could have been easily fixed if we had a powerful female gamer character in Endgame. But we didn't. So
No, let's just summarize this. In any foreign country, jobs have wage gaps. Not just jobs, even esports. That's why there are no more girls in esports. That's easily summarized.
I think there should be a women's league, like chess, like every other sport in the world. Like the problem
Really
is
cheap.
with men competing with women. Like men are consistent. Women are period.
Oh God.
There is no consistency. I can tell you. I can vouch for that. There is no consistency.
I think every married man can vouch for that. They'll raise their hand
look
to
at
agree
some-
with you as long as their wife isn't looking.
Yeah.
Look, do you remember that fucking weightlifting tournament of trans guys beating all the fucking women?
Oh my
Look at
God.
C9. They have, dude, Cloud. There is an esports team called Cloud9. All of them are transgender. If there was an e-league for females, they would fucking destroy them.
I remember watching this video. This like
Trillion Mappy
fucking
Socks.
random
Muted. You're
BuzzFeed
muted.
video. I'm not muted. Who's muted?
No, Trillion is.
No,
Oh, look at him. He is trying to talk.
Oh,
Aw, how cute.
how cute.
The,
Well,
the
anyways,
problem
fuck
with,
you.
Not muted on,
problem-
I didn't mute you on the podcast
All right,
either.
go on, man. Screw Trillion. Go on.
Basically, random BuzzFeed video showed up in my recommendation. It's this little black girl that wants to be the first woman to play in the NBA, and how like she's determined to achieve her dream and whatnot.
Yes. Achieve your dream, woman.
Dude, I can't
This-
wait to see her make some amazing layups. Oh, all the men are dunking or doing cool moves, and girls just need to play with boys once. Just once to understand the difference in physicality. That's all it takes. The problem is people say this from a distance, right? Girls and guys need to compete together. Let's make it happen just one time. Why don't we actually schedule a game between the NBA and the WNBA and see how it works out. Just to
there's a
prove
story
The
it. It's going
winners
to be
of the
painful.
WNBA season and the people who got last in the NBA.
Trillian just
Even
sent
do
me a
Let's see how
message.
that
Yeah.
Trillian just sent me a message to tell you a story that I told him
Okay,
before.
quickly,
Like-
but look at Trillion's face right now. He's so sad. He looks so confused. He's like a little kid.
Did you try
I
to turn
wanna
it
be
on or
fluid.
off again?
Oh, he's
we
back.
can hear
He's
you.
back. You're back. You're back. All right, tell the
How?
story. Tell the story.
Uh,
It's a-
No. I was gonna tell you to tell the story. That's why I was
Alright,
so
alright.
excited. I want you to tell
all
it.
right.
The
Alright,
CIA is just trolling you at this point.
All right. So,
maybe.
an Overwatch esports
Stop.
team.
Stop. That's enough. I've heard enough.
All right.
I shouldn't talk shit about Overwatch. I've never played it, but I've seen enough.
Don't worry. Don't worry. It's whatever opinion you have. It's right.
It's right. It's right.
That's assuring.
Yeah.
Because you're
An Overwatch esport team proudly announce in their main Twitter account, we proudly announce this individual who is the first gamer girl in the whole Overwatch esports scene. We proudly announce her as one of the main roster, and she's very good. She's gonna beat the crap out of all the other teams. And a week later, when the scrims started, we don't see that individual in the roster. And everybody was, where is she? Where is she? We want to see her. We want to see her. She's amazing. She should be one of the best. And the team did not respond, but leaks from other team members and whatnot happened, and she was not a she. She was a he who faked to be a she to get an easy ticket into the team.
I remember that story. That was an amazing story. And the
Yeah.
problem is,
They're so desperate to get a woman into the team, so they just picked up any bad player, assuming to be a woman. And he's like a master or a grandmaster in Overwatch, but that does not mean that he's good esport material. He was a good player. But since he was not a female, they kicked him out.
Basically, because he had something between his legs, they kicked him off the roster, and rightfully so.
Yes. Yeah, and according to people, he was a grandmaster in Overwatch. He was in the top 500 players, I assume.
I don't care, man. You faked being a female. All self-respect for you is gone at that point.
The moment that said he is female, and he was in the main roster.
Let me explain this further. He probably got rejected, right? Multiple times from multiple people. And he was like, what is this about? What about if I pretended to be a female? Right? And then he did it. And then they accepted him in. And regardless of what he did, whether it was a troll or not, whatever, right? But the important part is what the team did. They were so excited to get a girl in because they knew what that meant, how much money that's going to make them, how much publicity that's going to give them, right? The first female pro gamer, right? That they jumped on the bandwagon. And that tells you something.
Yeah, it tells you the guy from Google was right.
Yeah, the guy from Google was right. Poor guy, lost his job for it, but he was right.
Everybody knows women are not video games. They're not video games. Everybody knows that.
That's the truth right there.
Yeah, women are
And
not
on
video
that
games.
note,
On that note, women are not video games. Good night,
Yes.
everybody.
this is Chris Hansen on To Catch a Predator.
featuring.
All right, so if anybody wants to go ahead and start the goodbyes for the night.
Like, comment, subscribe, share, Darklight Q8. Please, we need the subs.
Please, he's always paying attention. I mean, that was the highlight of his day. Is he got not being on this stream? He got a sub today.
Yes, I got a sub.
Yeah, that's the first thing. Like, how was your day, guys? I got a sub today. I am so happy.
Please mass subscribe to Dark Rock. Wait 2 hours, then mass unsubscribe.
Subscribe in the
I just want the free cake.
Do you guys want to
Subscribe
sub for sub?
to me.
Is that still a thing? Do people still sub for sub?
No, it's
No,
bad.
100%.
they banned that. YouTube banned that.
Oh, that was YouTube culture in 2000.
That was
Yeah.
the shit. Yeah.
Dude,
You know, no videos, but 10,000 subscribers. Yeah.
dude. One of our friends told me, Aziz, why don't you do sub for sub? I said to him, what is that? He explained the whole thing to me. All right, and the next day when I decided to do it, one guy posted a video, sub for sub is banned. Yes.
It makes sense now because YouTube is doing their giant sub purge where like everyone's losing subscribers right now, even the biggest channels, because they're weeding out dead channels, which it turns out makes out a pretty large majority of some people's fan bases.
Communism
In
on
any
a
case,
cheat.
thank you all for watching. Subscribe to PewDiePie.
Yeah, not the other one. He's still in that like sub war, right?
No,
No, he banned
he
it.
released a video. I watched it. Yeah, I watched it yesterday or today. I don't remember when. He was like, "Guys, let's end the meme now. It's done. Please, let's move on."
And the next day, like they fly an airplane that says "subscribe to PewDiePie" over New York.
Of course they do.
At least, please just hold your brother because he's going insane about this girl gamer and Rainbow Six Siege league.
No, ignore it. It will go. Ignore it, and it will go away. That's the rule.
The cringe is not gonna go away. He's coming back to Kuwait, and you guys gonna meet him.
Yeah,
And you
that's
guys
when we
gonna
need
cringe.
someone. Not now. Yeah, not important. Let's end the stream. Let's go.
In the meantime, let cringe manifest organically. It's good for all of us.
Well, let's decide who gets the MVC today. I think Waleed gets the MVC for being a thirsty ass nigga.
I agree. I was gonna give it to Theo or whatever.
Torium did good, but Torium is not here, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna give it to him at the beginning, just because of how passionate he was defending superhero movies.
Waleed took it because he was more consistent, I bet.
Yeah, I guess.
Then he had some funny stuff.
Before we end it on that note, I would like to give a shout out to everyone viewing the stream. Shout out to Darkrai Q8 for his successful one subscribe gaining channel, Pokemon channel, / Paladins, / XCOM, YouTube, / Sekiro channel.
For sure, he's the fastest growing Kuwaiti Pokemon channel.
Yeah,
yes,
fuck PewDiePie, sub to him.
Yes,
guys.
Dude, when I played Paladins, 100 guys played Paladins because of me.
Yes, I played Paladin so much I retired then came back.
What's the sub gap between Darkrai Kuwait and PewDiePie? Just quick question.
It's this.
Yeah,
just three subscribers away.
3.
I'm looking at the social blade right now. Yeah.
Yeah,
Can we get someone to like live stream the sub gap 24/7? That would be nice.
Yeah, somebody monitor it. Somebody make a website for it. Somebody make a channel dedicated to it.
Oh god, I have to do a diss track for PewDiePie now.
I know exactly what you can do to make up those 3 subs. You can start playing Apex like a cultured individual.
No. Louis, how about you play Paladin or anything, or make a PC? Let's just play anything together.
You know the funniest part is Paladins is downloaded on my PS4 and it's just sitting there. I signed in once and then I had to go do something and I never came back to it, but it's right there and I do need to play it.
How about you make a PC, you uncultured swine?
Okay, we're ending this stream. The blasphemy is getting too out of hand here.
Okay, let's just end it with a quote. Let's just title the stream with this quote: "Hippity hoppity, women are property."
Wait,
Yeah.
let me write that down.
And also, they are not video games.
Yeah.
Oh,
women
I
are
don't know
not-
which one I like more.
Yeah, women are not video games.
For committed sex anal. Yes.
Women are not video games. I like that one. All right.
Uh,
All right, then,
we'll be seeing
guys.
you all.
We'll see you next week.
Same time next week.